peace and greatness. What's up, the greatest periods? For those who do not know, the reason why I say the greatest periods with an S at the end is because I perceive my world, my universe, as the greatest period, from the smallest particle to the cosmos. Oh shit. There's a Range Rover I got to salute to. I'm a manifester, man. I swear I'm a manifester. There it is right there. I'm a manifest that sexy thing. Yes, I am. But that's the reason why I said that. Today's day is July 28, 2018. I'm in New York. Brooklyn, if you really want to know. Bed-Stuy, if you want to be specific. Today's topic is about as above, so below as above. Okay, so what are you talking about, bruh? You know, this is a spiritual principle that we have to understand. I have repeated this numerous of times. You know, gotta show love to the tree, gotta dab it. You know, what's up, tree? Love you. Gotta show respect to nature. Man, well, physical beings and nature are one, regardless of what we feel is right or wrong. We are one. But anyway, I have repeated this concept saying that man, aka physical beings, were created in the likeness and image of God, of the Creator. So what the fuck does that mean? That means that as above, so below. So that means that if physical beings are below and God is above, what can we do that God can do, that the Creator can do? We understand, I have an understanding that the Creator is not flesh. We don't have, the Creator's not for flesh. It doesn't have any bones. It's my bad, I had to hurry up to swerve away from a vehicle. But the Creator is not tangible. The Creator is intangible, or matter of fact, unknowable, because we don't know what the Creator is. For man or for physical beings, hold on, sorry, I gotta switch hands. For physical beings or man to sit here and say that they know what God is a fool. Is a fool. And I was one of those fools, so that's why I can talk about it. Because if we want to keep this shit real, we do not know what God is. God is unknowable. Shout out to that Range. God is unknowable. We don't know the essence of God. We can sit here and think, oh, God is anger. God hates us. God wants mercy. Whatever we feel, that whatever concept that we have of God, we will never understand God until God allows us to understand God. And that's just being real. But anyway, God is a creator. God, well, from the aspect of how I view God, God is a creator. All creation is held within God's mind. And that's being arbitrary, because we really do not truly know God's essence. So God is all of this, everything that I'm experiencing right now is held in the mind of God. For example, this is how as above, so below. If anybody out there is an artist, for example, a person that draws, you create this drawing. Let's say you create this superhero, and this superhero is imagined in your mind, and it comes into life. Isn't that your creation? I'm just asking, isn't that your creation? It's in your mind, right? Well, and that's the same way that God manifests within this reality, within this universe. Everything is held within God's mind, within the Creator's mind. So man is the same way. Man can create things, man can hold things within their mind and create beautiful things. I believe everything is beautiful. However we choose to use our mind. I'm talking about higher consciousness now. I'm not talking about lower shit. So when I'm talking about everything is good, I'm talking about from a higher perspective, from my higher self, my higher being. That's what I'm talking about. So everything is good. All is well. But as above, so below. So that means that, to elaborate, that means that from a smaller scale, not even from a smaller scale, let's say, okay, the cosmos is as above, and below is the particles, the atoms, ions, photons. Those are the smallest things, but guess what? They all represent, they're all part of the same thing. It's just on a different degree, just like hot and cold. It's the same energy, it's using the same energy. Everything is using the same energy, but it's just different degrees. You know, like we're superior to animals. We're all made for the same energy, but guess what? We have different levels. We could think for ourselves. Animals, as I know it, can't think for themselves. They can't distinguish, oh, this will hurt this animal in the long run. Some of them don't understand that. Some of them are guided by intuition. So whatever the Creator is putting into them, they doing what they're designed to do. A plant knows to grow. If a plant is placed into an environment where it's able to grow, that's all it knows is to grow. It knows its purpose. It knows its divine plan. It knows it. You know, but see, for us human beings, for us spiritual beings, for us knowing ourselves, for us physical beings, we have this thing called free will. And because of free will, we're able to choose what we desire to do. And when I mean desire, I'm talking about from our lower self. Because if we are if we acted with our higher self, we'll have a better understanding of, okay, we are physical beings with a consciousness that's akin to the Creator. Because the Creator created everything, whether we like it or not. Everything is held within this Creator's mind. And I'm talking about arbitrary. So I really don't know if the Creator even have a mind. But for us physical beings to have a better concept, we could use the mind because we have a mind. We can sit here and think. We can sit here and change anything that we choose to change. That's just being real. As above, so below. As within, so without. So for me, so whatever we're experiencing without us, everything that we are experiencing externally from us is what's going on within. I say that one more time. Every fucking single thing that we are experiencing that is outside of us, and that's even a paradox because we are all one. But since we have the left brain where we can sit here and see things separately, that's how we learn that everything that's from outside of us, just like I'm touching this right here, this thing right here, or this tree, or this bag that I'm holding, everything that's outside of us is also within. That's how we feel. That's how our consciousness is within. As within, so without. So if we could understand that we are creators akin to God, Allah, Krishna, whatever the fuck we want to call this energy, this vibration, then we have to understand that, man, we some powerful motherfuckers right now. We very powerful. So once we have a better understanding, like, oh shit, we're powerful. So that means that we have a responsibility that we have to do. You know, it's funny. Some people don't believe in God or energy or whatever, but it's so amazing that something out there created this body that if I cut myself, and I know I said this in the last video, but it's so amazing that if I cut myself, somehow my body knows how to heal it. If I'm talking about a little scratch, just a little scratch, whatever scratch I receive, it knows to heal itself. You telling me there's no higher intelligence out there that came up with the design? It happened by chance? Bruh, it happened by chance? Come on, man. It's something else out there that's running this show. You know, it's funny. It's funny to talk about this. As above, so below. It is said that God created a divine plan for each being that God created within its mind, within God's mind. So if God has a divine plan for each creation that God created, I'm not saying he, because I don't know God is a he or she, that God created within its own mind, that means that we as below must also have a plan that we need to do things in a structured, ordered way. Because everything is planned. Everything has a purpose. Everything is already set in store. All we have to do is do what we have to do. It's just like a plant knows that a plant has to grow. A tree, a orange seed knows that it has to become a tree and produce fruit and everything else that it has to do. It already knows its job. So it's up to us, physical beings, spiritual beings, our true selves, to know that we each have a divine plan. As above, so below. We're the micro, and the macro is the creator, the name that can't be named, perceived, or thought of by self. Because to me, in my fact, the creator is unknowable. It's just like this. The creator has an infinite mind. I have a finite mind compared to the creator, because the creator created all this in a grand scale. I'm creating just on a miniature scale. There's nothing else powerful than a creator. Nothing else at all. And once we can understand that, then what the fuck is fear? There's no fear but fear itself. But fear itself, who do I have to fear? Nobody at all. Just keeping it, hold on. Just keeping it kosher, baby. Just keeping it kosher right now. You know, so as above, so below. So once we understand that what's going on outside of us, oh no, I'm chilling. I gotta take a break. So we have to understand that what's going on without us, we have to shift our thoughts, our feelings, our intentions, our desires. We have to shift our actions and understand that life is a repetition. Life has patterns, and we have to also understand that as above, so below. If everything has patterns and cycles, that means that we, as physical beings, as spiritual beings, as the true selves, also have cycles and patterns that we have to be aware of. So if things keep on repeating themselves within our life experience, there's a cause for it. There's an effect towards it. So what do we have to do to understand these causes and effects? We have to understand our own nature. We have to understand our own cycles, our own patterns, and watch shit change. That's all I've been doing. Facts. as above, so below. Peace and greatness.